Bing bong! Hello, good evening and welcome to another Dad Rail live stream. This time we are heading off to Austria, the Semmeringbahn, and the British Rail Class 47 rail tour. Fancy! This stream will be starting at 20:30 by the station clock. That's in about 7 minutes. Please have your drinks, light refreshments, and poor sense of humour. No, my poor sense of humour. You've got an impeccable sense of humour. Your sense of humour at the ready.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all stations and on all train services. This includes e-cigarettes.
Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome. Oh, I forgot the bing bong. Bing bong. Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to Semmeringbahn. The Austrian Class 47 rail tour is the order of today, and we will be starting in just under 2 minutes. So please have your drinks, light refreshments, first class tickets, Oyster cards, pretzels, and whatever they eat in Austria at the ready. Tea and biscuits with the manager will be provided. And this live stream will start in 1.5 minutes. Hello, good evening and welcome, lovely people. It's a cat. Hashtag cat row. Good evening and welcome. If this does happen to be the first stream or video you've seen by me, then my name is Richard, aka Dad Row, and I am a mainline freight train driver and former passenger train driver based in the southeast of England. Before we jump into the stream, as always, I've got to tell you that all the views and opinions expressed within are solely my own, may not reflect those of any companies that may be employed by or associated with. Furthermore, Dovetail Games have given me the key for this route completely free of charge, but they do have no editorial control over the content. All opinions are my own. Who have we got? Artie, officially Charles on the moderating, typical Nathan, Barry Daniel, Gareth the Kemp. I say Gareth the Kemp, it's Gareth Kemp, sorry. Vince, Sussex Rail Enthusiast, SJA. Cole, GJ, Peter G, LW Rail, ZH, to mention but a few. Mark Murray, we're going to get an honest opinion of the route and good discussion. Hopefully, that is the plan. So, we are going to be having all of our usual features tonight. We're going to be jumping in and out the Discord server, and we are going to be playing Locomotive Location Livery. If you've not seen that before, you will soon get the hang of it. Anyway, that is enough chatter from me. Let's press the button. Everything is working. Thank you very much to GJ. My computer crashing problem seemed to be fixed, so thank you very much, my friend. You get, I tell you what, GJ, because you fixed my computer, so you get one of these. Hopefully that works. I've now cursed it, it's going to crash. Okay, so Semmeringbahn will release for Train Sim World 4 tomorrow, so that is on the 18th, which is the new Austrian DLC. So, to the trains, choose a route, Semmeringbahn. Timetable. So I have done a trip in the Tarus, aka the singing train, across the full route, and we've also had a little run around the mountain pass section in the multiple unit in the snow, and those videos are on the channel. But I'm excited to do this one, the Class 47 on the Semmeringbahn. So when British Railways were being modernised, several locomotives were sold to, I think it was Hungary, and Romania, one of them being a 47. And this rail tour actually happened. I should have posted the link down in the description, but this is a thing. This is not the right 47. It was a different 47. Someone who knows more can post some details about that. But yeah, this happened, which is why we've got it in game. So, do you know what? We're going to keep custom weather. No, we keep dynamic weather turned on. Let's go with it. But we'll set it to the summer to give ourselves a fighting chance. Let's go. Let's get started. Typical Nathan, why is there a 47 on this DLC? Because it happened in real life, Typical Nathan. That is why it is in-game. Does the train have first-class accommodation? Haha, Scottish Numpty. Hello, how are we doing? Rightio. You're going to have to let me know, guys, if you want the game audio up or down as we go along, because I've been recording, so I will need to tweak it. Hello, Mum Rail in the background. Fingers crossed at the moment we don't have any Sammy. He has gone to bed as planned. Rightio, so this is the stream where we absolutely butcher the pronunciations of everything. Someone did post something on one of my videos earlier. I've got to pronounce certain things as V's, and so Budapest to Murzzuschlag. There's nothing funny about that. Budapest to Murzzuschlag. Semmering spoon. Okay. The rail tour is called the Semmering spoon. Right. We are in. I am going to take a guess that the game audio is really quite loud, so let's get that pulled down a little bit, but we can always tweak that. Okay, this is going to be interesting for a couple of reasons. The speed on the HUD is in kilometres an hour, the speed on my train is in miles per hour, and we've got no German safety systems or anything fitted, so that's going to be interesting. So with that in mind, there's absolutely no point in me turning on the AWS handle. But we will do the DSD, because that's a good thing to do. Right. Key in. Reverser to engine only for now. Straight air brake applied. And driver's brake released. Right, we should have a headlight over here somewhere. Tail light. Desk light. No, we don't want that one. Marker lights on. Headlight switch on. Okay, let's jump outside and have a look. So there it is, 4741. Like I said, this is not the 47 that was featured on the rail tour. That is a different 47, which we don't have in game. But there we go, with the German or Austrian DB coaches on the back. I'm not sure what you call the coaches. I'm really poor when it comes to names of coaches, but this is going to be interesting. And we're starting off at Wiener Neustadt. Wiener, not Wiener, Wiener. There's nothing funny about Wieners. Wiener Neustadt, Hauptbahnhof. And we've got a couple of minutes before we... Did we open the doors? We didn't, although to be fair, it didn't tell me to. And we can sort of have a quick nosy around before we set off. Got some old wagons in the yard over there. Some KFAs, possibly. I'm really bad when it comes to wagons. I should say on there what they are. Nope. Objective complete. Nice looking bridge there with decent views across the station. Yeah, liking that a lot. Right, let's jump in our train and let's get going. Like I say, if you want to see this in the Tarus, or you want to see this in the multiple unit, which is the actual train that comes with the route, then those videos are up on the channel. Okay. Doors are already locked. Let's go into forward. Driver's brake, straight air brake off. I have no idea how the signalling works either, so again, we're winging that. Trains at the station, how's the model railway going? The model railway is going nowhere. Yeah, the model railway the build starts in anger in the summer, so at the moment it's just background work. ZH, nice looking station. Yeah, to be honest, ZH, the whole route is pretty decent. I think they've made genuinely a really good job of this route. It's well and truly up to the standards that we've come to expect of some of the recent releases by Dovetail. Would love to see a pacer on this route. Total Fresh, do you know what? You could absolutely use the free roam and spawn a pacer in. That is perfectly doable. But the 47 layer, as long as you've got Blackpool branches and you've got Rhine Valley line. Link stricken. As long as you've got that one, you will get the 47 layer on here. Right, let's power up and get it going. Turn on safety systems. No point. Oliver Models looks nice, detail. The Blackpool route is superb. It really is. Roy Michael Taylor, hello. How are you? Good evening. We do this every time. Good evening from Derbyshire. Good evening from sunny St Leonard's. Although I spent most of my day down at Towton and Eastleigh and bits and bobs, but yeah, Ted, I have been driving absolutely. I took some 73s down to Towton to pick up some snow and ice treatment train wagons and brought them back to Tunbridge. Typical Nathan, I don't think anything's been announced on the roadmap yet as to release date for that, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm being honest. Right, so in terms of stations, we are stopping at the one we've just stopped at, then Semmering and Murzzuschlag platform 5. Pronunciations. It's going to be one of those streams. So if we have a quick look on the map, we are kind of in this area up here. We're going to come along this nice straight, and then we enter the mountain pass, which is where the scenery gets really nice, and we've got some nice gradients on here to keep us busy. Should be quite challenging for our 47, although we haven't got a particularly heavy load on there. Then we then stop at Semmering, and then finally down to our final destination station. Yeah, Danny, this route, I was quite surprised because you do it in the summer, up in the mountains, and it looks spectacular, and then you turn on the weather and the atmosphere, it was just fantastic. It was like a completely different route. Lewis Henderson, I am in West St Leonard's. Connor, currently getting 40 FPS, which is, I normally do a bit better than that. It seems to be lagging out a bit. Is the stream a bit laggy then, Connor? How's the game audio, guys? Do you need the game audio up or down, or is that looking okay for you at the moment? I say I've got about 45 FPS, but I've got all the settings maxed out at the moment. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you need the game audio up or down. If anything needs tweaking, we can do that on the fly. Total Crash Steam is quite laggy to start with, but fine now. Oh, that's good to hear. Peter G, is that Sonic your boy is playing in the background? What are you playing? Sorry? I can't hear you. Hollow Knight or something. I have no idea what that is. Sim Racer, have Dovetail implemented joystick? Unfortunately not. That is something that I think the game is sorely missing. Joystick support would be an absolute win as far as I'm concerned. We definitely do need that. Game audio 10.4 for the me. Game audio is about right for me. Perfect. Rightio. Okay, as we are thrashing along this nice bit of straight track, should we play a game?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
So if you haven't seen this game before, post your numbers in the chat between 1 and 36, and we will play our first round of Locomotive Location Livery. Laserjet has now been a member of the channel for 15 months. Thank you very much, Laserjet. Mark Murray, do you want the game audio up a tad? Hey, Ted Reed has become a member. Thank you very much, Ted. Okay. Third number on my screen. Connor Buller, you are the first. Ashley Coles, you are the second. Pig and Bob, you are the third number on my screen with number 22.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Okay guys, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you box number 22. You've got 10 seconds to give me the locomotive livery and location of what you see underneath. Let me know your thoughts. What is it? Where is it? What is the livery? What are you thinking? Beautiful. Blob, Class 20, Sim Racer, train at a station in red. Danny Hummer, we've done the numbers bit. Hey, Vince! Has been a member for 4 months. Thank you very much, Vince. Lazy 899, Class 20 in Rail Freight Livery at Crew. Total Fresh, Class 20 BR Green. As we pass the Tarus on a freight service. What are we reckoning? What are we reckoning? So this first bit of the route that we're going along now is pretty straight and boring, as you can see. One thing I think they're making a really good job of on these new routes is the overhead line equipment. It looks really sturdy, it continues into the distance, there's not much artifacting on it. I think that it's something they've definitely improved on, and it does look a lot better. We'll have a look on the map. We are approaching a little bit of a bend. Wardle Restorations, good evening buddy, how you doing? Nice one. I think graphically, in terms of so far foliage textures, track textures, building textures, it's definitely up to Train-Sim 4 standards. It's a nice looking route. So we are good for 153 kilometers an hour, which I believe is 95 miles an hour, which is the top speed of the loco. Yeah, Iron Wheelspin says their line side vegetation has been massively improved too. It certainly has. Okay, someone's asking to look in the Discord. Let's absolutely go. Oh, come on. Everyone's favourite firefighter. That is Firefighter Morris, isn't it? Penny Morris? Yeah, see. I know Fireman Sam. Live stream pictures page, guys, on the Discord server. Invitation link in the description below. If you want to join in over there, you're more than welcome to. No, Elliot Geary, this is in-game. So the new Semmeringbahn route features a Class 47 rail tour. So basically, when British Railways was being modernised, a lot of locomotives were exported to Romania, Hungary and Eastern European countries, and a 47 was used on a rail tour, the Semmering Spoon rail tour, which is what is simulated here. So 0.8% gradient, we are starting to climb up. So yeah, you don't need to bodge this information editor or anything. The Class 47, the Class 47 is from Blackpool branches, and the coaches are from the Link Rheinstreck route. And you can see the mountains off in the distance. It's got a really good draw distance. Stream's a bit laggy. Yeah, my internet seems to be doing funny things tonight. Hopefully it'll fix itself. I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and subscribe to fibre. Jag1, unfortunately, no. The speedo is still in miles an hour, and it is not fitted with the Austrian signalling system. That would be really cool if they'd done that, but unfortunately it's not. It's like with the 66. I'd like to see that turn into a 266 and have the PZB and LZB put on it, so we can use it on the German routes. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, Connor, that's correct. It's a layer on the new route. Right, we've got 150. We're in the 150. That's about 90 miles an hour, I'm going to hazard a guess. We're going to need to do some conversion of speeds as we go along. Elliot, as far as I know, the coaches are air braked. 156 Andrew, Shortbread Express. Maximum speed of the Class 47 is 95 miles an hour. So that's 156, 157 kilometres an hour. Something along those lines. Yeah, definitely, Connor. 66 to 266. I'd be absolutely here for that. I would love to see that in game. Oh yeah, you are Eurospec cab. Scottish Numpty, you are correct. 47 is also on the Northern Transpennine, but the version they have layered into this route is the version from the Blackpool branches. Yeah, the draw distance on the mountains coming up in the distance there, the foliage, the world does feel, it feels like you're completely enclosed. You can't see the end of the edge of the world. To be fair, I haven't driven this route a couple of times. I don't really have many bad things to say about it. They have done a really good job of it. I'm guessing for those of you in the know, I'm guessing the Austrian signals probably work similarly to the German ones. And is the main safety system in Austria PZB? Hey Martin, I'm good, thank you. How was work? Okay, so we've got an 80 km/h restriction coming up. I'm going to say that's probably about 50 miles an hour. Maybe a bit slower, maybe 40, 45. About 45, I reckon. Nick. He's not using internet, so... who was saying about the graphics? Dale 20, great graphics. Yeah, it really is on here. You can see the hills coming into view on the right hand side there as well. So they use this new, I think it's called LIDAR or something like that, which is the terrain mapping system, and it certainly has sort of set a new standard. 80 is bang on 50. Oh, anyone would think I've done this before. Johnny Simulator Gaming, thank you very much. I'm Will Spin. Lots of tree density as well. The foliage density on this is pretty impressive, which could be why my frame rate's down a little bit. Actually, I know why my frame rate's down a little bit, because my son Joshua is still logged onto the computer and he's got Gary's mod open, and anyone who plays Gary mod will know it's very resource intensive, and I didn't shut it down, so that's probably still open in the background. Right, so from my understanding of this, the kind of main line, the high-speed main line, sort of continues straight on ahead, whereas we go around what's known as the Semmering Pass, which is the mountain route. So we're diverging off to the right-hand side. Looks like the rail's going to nowhere there, whether that's like a work-in-progress line or what, I don't know, or there's going to be a high-speed line in the future. Carry mods is like a PC clasher. Yeah, he plays Gary's mod and Scrap Mechanic a lot of the time. Yeah, normally I get a solid 60 FPS, although to be fair, I've got my frames capped at 60. But obviously that shouldn't be affecting the stream lagging. Right, so 70 I'm going to say is about 40 miles an hour, just over 40 miles an hour. Steve Hornsby, it depends what console you're playing on. If you're playing on a current gen console, it absolutely should. If you're playing on PS4 or Xbox 360, I want to say, then I think some of the layers kind of skinny down a little bit. But at the moment, all my graphic settings are maxed out on this at the moment. Okie dokie, guys, not to spoil the fantastic mountain views, but let's have another go at this.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Nick Fleming, Richard, do you ever drive UTUs, or is it a private Network Rail driver seeing a 37 on a UTU this Friday? I don't, but it will be a qualified mainline driver. I don't believe Network Rail have any of their own drivers. Connor would probably be the best person to answer that question. I think Network Rail contract drivers in from other companies. Connor, yeah, driving on the right hand side is peculiar. It's very peculiar. Okay, Locomotive Location livery. Third number on my screen, Mark Murray with number 5.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go, guys. Box number 5, 10 seconds. Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. What does that give you? Does it help? And Dave Souffle says Network Rail drivers are often colas. There we go. As we are progressing up through the slower mountain section, but you can just see the scenery up here is genuinely gorgeous. They have done a really good job of this. 156 Andrew says class 20 at Crewe. The texture quality and the draw distance, I know I've kept said it a few times, but it is pretty impressive. Scottish Numpty says 66. Richie Rouse says Birmingham New Street. Gareth Kemp says still say it's a 20. Scottish Numpty looks like a 66. Connor Eaton, BR Rail Freight Class 20. Can we have them back at Tunbridge, please, Connor, next year? Thank you very much. Oh, Nick K, I'm useless at this game. Nick, there is one of these for everyone. There'll be one day, and you will absolutely just get it. I'm Willspin. The scenery is really well done. Genuinely impressed. Yeah, definitely is. Scottish Numpty, I'm not entirely sure on the price, I'm afraid. I haven't done my homework on that. If someone wants to jump over to the Steam store and have a look and post it, then you're more than welcome to. Total Trash, no worries, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Modal Railwayman says 58 in Rail Freight Grey. That's a interesting guess there. Haroon, thank you very much. $29.99. And Zaid, it is a Train Sinwell 4 route. And we've got the lovely snow-topped mountains off in the distance there. The only weird thing is playing without safety systems turned on, which is a little bit strange. I hope that's not my red. I've taken my throttle off. We'll just let that speed run itself out there. Some lovely engineering on this route as well. I mean, look at that. It is very well done. I mean, I can be pretty critical of some of the products that have come out. See my 5 circle reviews. But, you know, some of the recent releases we've seen from Dovetail, Suffragette line, for example, you know, even Glossop, I think that was a Dovetail one. They have been very, very good quality, and this one's up there as well. They do really seem to be getting their act together, so you know, credit given where due. Danny Hummer, not so windy in the sunshine. No, it looks a bit more hospitable up here in the summer. Two point 2.6% grade now, really testing the English electric engine. Nick K, don't know what they've done, but it looks flipping brilliant. Well, there we go, Nick. So we have got 143 of you lovely people watching. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. Consider subscribing. That would be absolutely brilliant. Depending on how we do for time, we can possibly have a little go in the Tarus as well, aka the musical train. Jack HST Productions, the Douro Valley would be amazing if it was to be made in-game to this standard with the 1400. The Douro Valley with a Series 1400, I am absolutely here for that. But I want a heritage version with an 1800 as well. We would have to get that with a heritage version with an 1800. AKA the British Rail Class, the Portuguese Class 50. But yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see any... I mean, never say never, but I don't think we're going to see any of the mainstream developers doing anything for Portugal because there just isn't the market for it. Which is a shame because I personally would love it. Connor, I apologise, it's not an E, it's a Solza. They've remembered to put pylons on the wires on the pylons, which is more than a certain other developer done on a certain Scottish route. Oh, listen to that. That is beautiful. That really is. Yeah, Cab Bet, exactly that. But no, this is a Dovetail Games add-on. Now, the only thing that does bug me with this, the distance to Semmering, it's showing us 5.7 kilometres. But as has been the case on previous routes, that is as the crow flies and not track mileage. I know that's something that's been highlighted before, and I know that is something they're looking at a fix for, but it's not as easy. Apparently, it's not that easy to do it for some reason or another, but definitely something that does need a fix. I'll really keep on the power up here because we're just losing so much speed. Zaydaniba, what are you playing on? Are you playing on console or PC? Connor, that's a good idea. Let's all just become developers. Scottish Numpty, do live stream pictures have to be trains? As long as it's sort of in keeping with the theme and the kind of general feel of things. If you've got something you want to share that you think people will be interested in, then we're pretty open. We're pretty cool. Zaid, PC. It could be that the specs of your PC, Zaid, are not high enough to run the game. It is quite intensive, or you might just need to go into your graphics settings and just drop them down a little bit. Oh. That is nice. That is very nice. Leo Low, is it too steep to restart the train if you stop for some reason? Not with this load on. We've only got like 4 coaches. Hey, Matthew Smith has become a member. Thank you very much, Matthew. Yeah, we've only got 4 coaches on, so it would restart pretty easily. I'm a fan. So one thing I would really like to see in game is some European steam. So I know Henschler and Son were like a German locomotive builder. That's pretty much the only like German steam loco I know. But European steam would lend itself really well to this route and rail tours. I've got to thrash it now to get it up the hill. Gareth Kemp? No, I didn't hear about that. That doesn't sound too good. So let's have a little look on the map and see where we're at. So we've still got a bit of wiggling around to do before we get down to Semmering. And then we're on the home straight. Someone was asking if you could do this on Class 20s. Yeah, Sam Bennett, using the free roam mode, you absolutely can. You can just spawn in pretty much whatever you want. The reason I'm doing this with the 47 is because the 47 is a timetabled rail tour service on this route. So if you play this route, I think it only runs in the summer months, but if you play this route in normal timetable modes, you will either pass the Class 47 rail tour or you can drive it like we're doing now. It is part of the route because during the 80s, 90s, a lot of 47s, I think there were some 80s, 60s, 87s, 56s, etc. were sold to Romania and Eastern European countries. A lot of them are still in service now. But yeah, that's why we have a 47 doing a rail tour in Austria. Right, as we are trundling up the mountain, shall we do this?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Yeah, the rock texture's looking really nice as well. Right, okay. It's gone mad, it's gone mad. Haroon, you are the 3rd number on my screen, my friend, with number 22. Just want to see what's around the corner before we change the screens.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
We've done, Haroon, we've done 22, so we're going with Mark. You're the next one with number 12. What is it? Where is it? Yep. And whilst we're in the tunnel, we will have a quick look in the Discord server as well. 66! Scottish Numpty says Scott fail. Like it. Like it. Giving it some thrash now. LW Rail, Rail Freight 20 at Faversham. Johnny Simon Gaming, 20 somewhere. Sussex Rail Enthusiast, 20, 118. Orangutan in bed, no worries. Good to have you here, my friend. My computer has just told me that the stream is not running smooth again. I think I'm going to make a phone call tomorrow or Friday and get fibre installed. That'll be a pretty good shout then, because we can up the bit rate of the stream as well, and hopefully we get to... I don't know how it looks to you, whether it comes through pixelated or whether the stream looks pretty good. Not sort of in terms of how smooth it is at the moment, but in general, because we can increase the bit rate as well. Such a peaceful environment. Right, we are crawling along. We are at full throttle though, saying that. Let's quality is pretty good, looks good. Oh, okay, fair enough. Stream always looks quite good quality to me. Oh, that's good to know. We've got a Tarus coming the other way. Which of course is the train that is actually included with the game. Nick, from afar, why do these coaches seem to resemble LNER Azumas? Yeah, I can see where you... Definitely see where you're going with that, Nick. LW Rail, yeah, I'm always up for doing collaborations. Looks like we are going to be at Semmering. Oh, can I get... No, it's done it again. Trying to get the outside view as we come through the... We might have to do this a different way. No, there's some serious problems with... Trying to jump outside as we come through the arches there, but the camera angles just don't like it at all. Mark Murray, we used to get a couple of routes on a couple of locos on new routes with dovetail, but seems only one recently. Yeah, that's a fair point. I would rather have one that's been done well though, rather than a couple that have been bodged. And I think we're getting a pretty good collection in game now. So someone was saying we're going to be early. Although, like I say, it says 2.5 kilometres to Semmering. What we've got to bear in mind is that is as the crow flies and not on these windy tracks. The substations at the side of the track, though, do look a bit like they've been taken from the Brighton main line. Right, okay, test. Level crossing barriers. Animated or not? Well, hey! We had to wait a while, but they're working as intended. MX Erica Kelly George, it releases officially tomorrow. Don't you just wish that 5 Circle was up to this sort of standard? Scottish yeah, Brighton main line is the London commuter route. Elliot, I think the HSTs had handled it pretty well, I would have thought. So I think once we get to the end, guys, we will do another run. I want to see this in kind of some dusky lighting conditions. We won't do it in the 47. I'm either going to do it in the Tarus, which is the train that come with the route, or the Vectron. So let me know what you would like to see. Pele, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong there. Yeah, we were speaking about the distance area. The distance that's shown in the top left of the screen is as the crow flies. It's not the track distance, so no, that issue hasn't been fixed, I'm afraid. Yeah, Connor, you're absolutely bang on. Blackpool branch is superb. London Overground, superb. This superb. 5 Circle in the middle is... I mean, when I put the mod pack on it, it's a lot better, but definitely a bit of a disappointment. Nick K, heavy freight would be interesting on here. I haven't done freight on here, Nick, so... I reckon a freight run, we can go with that. I think it's going to be the Tarus at the moment. I don't think we've done a stream with the Vectron, so we're going to have to arrange that at some point. I keep saying that. We've also got the Western in-game, the Class 52. Someone shoot me down if I've got that wrong. And I asked for suggestions last time, and I forget who it was. Forgive me. It might have been Peter. I don't think Peter's in tonight. Suggested that we do something with a 52 because it just sits there and doesn't do anything. Right, this is going to get interesting. It's going to be a bit slippery now. Flying Scotsman on here would be interesting. Yeah, the Class 52, Elliot. We're not going to do that on here, but we need to... I've not done a stream with the 52. We need to do that. Alistair Anderson, got to admit, I'd love to see the BR standards in Train Sim 4. Cool to see a 1960s map in the middle of dieselification. I mean, we've got stuff in game like the 20, the 47. I mean, a 56 in game would be fantastic. We've got the 37 in game, several versions of that. It's definitely working hard up here. John Ward, thank you. Yeah, the 52 was your suggestion. Sorry for calling you Peter. Andrew Longsbury, are you not a fan of this one then? Chris, a dusty bin would be lovely. One of the GA routes, or I mean, I've said it so many times, C to C route would be perfect. Got to love the dynamic weather. TJ, what nameplate have we got? The Brontes of Hallworth. Iron Wheelspin, I'd love some more modern DMUs in game. We have just had the 170. I mean, you can't really say the 170 is modern. It's been around for quite a while now, but... I'd quite like to see a Voyager in-game, cross-country Voyager or something like that. But then I'm strange because I like Voyagers. Harry, thank you very much for joining us. Oh, no worries, Andrew. I was correcting my state on Rivet Games dropping horrible DLC. I was saying I'm shocked Dovetail doesn't ban them from making DLC. Right, we're coming into Semmering, which I think is the top of the hill, and then we are downhill from here on in. We've got a couple of minutes to spare here. We have managed to make it on time. I'm quite impressed by that. I'll absolutely take that. And then we're going to have a little look around in the rain. Our poor loco's been working hard to pull this train up here. Richie, a Voyager would be beautiful to see. TJ, maybe we could get an EMR 2T2 from the Midland Main Line. Wait for... It's not asking me to unlock the doors. It just wants me to wait. So that's interesting. Let's go for a little wander, see what we can find. Oh, I like the little garden here. That's quite nice. And the random bit of track. The views up onto the mountains there with the snowy top. Yeah, I am... It's amazing that none of the textures look tiled or repeating. Check out 5 Circle if you've got no idea what I'm talking about. Rightio, okay, while that is sitting there waiting for time, we've got about a minute and a half. Shall we press that button?
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Andrew, wow, British loading gauge is small when compared to the German rolling stock. Do you know what? It absolutely is. You can see there quite clearly. I've got a video of a Class 266 in Germany, which is basically a Class 66, running in Germany with some obviously German stock behind it. And the loco is just dwarfed by it. Tiny in comparison. Absolutely tiny. Okay, third one on my screen today is Sussex Rail Enthusiast with number 6.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Okay, here we go, guys. Box number 6, 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location, if you can. Oh, I reckon that's gonna help you. GJ, in the garden, is there a guy rail fanning? Train spotting, rail fanning. That's a quirky little attention to detail. Look, there's a guy taking a selfie next to the... Little things like that make me happy. It's those little attention to detail. I mean, standing there in the rain with no umbrella, but, you know, he's obviously a bit hardy, I think would be the right word. That... Definitely. Got people with headphones on. They do seem to be getting a lot better at the NPCs. Seem to be getting a lot more variety in the NPCs. Rightio. Train spot from Somerset, 20. Scottish numpty, 20. Conor Eaton, 20 times 3 at Birmingham New Street. Times 2, not times 3. There we go. Danny Humber needs some spotters at the end of the platform. Danny, I've mentioned that before. We've got this lovely new diorama feature in-game where they can kind of set up things that only happen at certain times, like, you know, at cafes and stuff. Yes, when you're running a rail tour, you should have enthusiasts at the end of the platform. We're off again. Speeding straight away. We're going to try not to run out of air coming down the hill. We're going to have to play it on the brakes. Right. Let's have a little look over in the Discord. We are back to Fireman Sam, but someone has posted an LNER HST. What livery did you prefer the HSTs in? LNER, Great Western, Midland Mainline. What was your favourite flavour of HST? Some nice realistic clag. Orangutan in bed. Would anyone recommend the West Somerset in Train Sim World 4? We done a stream on the West Somerset not so long ago. I want to say about a month and a half when the update was released for it. It's one of those routes that... It's a slow route and it's long, but it enables you, especially with free roam mode, it enables you to kind of put lots of bits and bobs on it and run random locos and do some funky moves and bits and bobs you otherwise wouldn't get a chance to do. So it's a playful sort of route, if that makes sense. Lewis has any colour on the HST. Sussex Rail, Gatwick. Did they wear Gatwick Express, Sussex Rail? If you say they did, they must have done. HST, Dynamic Line, says GJ. GWR, F, First Great Western. ScotRail Intercity. GNER. Oh, lovely GNER. I missed the white rose sets on GNER. Yeah, the substations look very much like they've been nicked from the Brighton Main Line. They look very, very British Rail Southern region. Right, we're going to have to... We've got no dynamic braking on this, so we're going to have to ride the brakes all the way down. Yeah, Craig, I think Swallow is where I would go with it, to be fair. Yeah, TJ, is for a rail tour, 4 coaches, it's a... Yeah, it's not a particularly long train. Although much more than that, I think the 47 would probably struggle a little bit. So I think we established earlier 80 kilometres an hour is about 50 miles an hour. See, what we could do but shouldn't do I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to be a little bit naughty. This is not... In real life, if you were to do this in real life, what I'm about to do, driving a train, it's really, really poor practice, and it's most definitely tea and biscuits with your manager. Rather than playing on and off the brake constantly on this 2.1% downhill gradient, I'm just going to put a little bit of straight air brake in. So the straight air brake is locomotive only, and if I put a little bit of straight air brake in, that's hopefully just going to hold our speed back. The reason you wouldn't want to do this in real life is because when you apply the straight air brake, you've got no brakes on the wagons. The locomotive is doing all the braking, and there's a tendency for the wheels on the loco to lock up, and then you've got all that weight behind you just pushing the locomotive with the wheels locked up, which is going to create wheel flats. Not only that, by putting the locomotive brakes on, and only the brakes on the locomotives, all of the wagons are suddenly going to whack hard into the back of the locomotive, and you risk sort of buffer lock and uncomfortable journeys. So it's something, when you're driving on the main line, you never use the straight air brake when you've got traffic on. But in this situation, see, if I was doing that now in real life, if I've got my straight air brake on full, basically the wheels on the locomotive have completely locked up. That's now being pushed by the weight of the train, and it's got terrible flats on it. And then Connor gets angry with me. So yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to be doing that on a real train. Whiplash and wheel flats. And if we make too many brake applications on and off, we run the risk of actually running out of air as well, which is equally not as good. Yeah, definitely coming down the other side now. Has that person got a swimming pool in their garden, or is that... It's really good. I'm trying to learn how to drive, not get tea and biscuits. Hey, we've avoided it so far. A train stop from Berkshire, if you run out of air, can you use the vacuum brakes? I think it would be very rare to have both the vacuum pipes and the air pipes connected up. I think stock would... I don't know of any dual-braked coaching stock. I know locomotives can be dual-braked. They can have both systems fitted. But I don't know of any coaches that can have both systems fitted. So like on the Class 73, for example, if you want to switch between air and vacuum, that's a switch actually in the engine room. So I would hazard a guess that probably not, no. If you run out of air, that big wheel on the back's probably going to be your best friend. Although you run the same risk, you're going to put wheel flats on it. You're going to have all that weight of train pushing you down the hill. Hey Barry, no worries. Thank you very much for joining, bud. Much appreciated. And let's have a look on the map. So we are getting pretty close to our destination now. Jack HST, West Coast Railway have dual brakes Mark 1s, albeit they are not going. But can they use both systems at the same time, Jack, or is it one or the other? I can understand them being dual brakes. You can have either a vac brake loco or an air brake loco on the front, but I doubt you can use both systems at the same time. As Connor's, I've just read Connor's comment there as well. I've done enough work for you today, Connor. Everything is back in its rightful place. Train from Berkshire, coming up with all the contentious issues today. Opinions on West Coast Railway and central door locking. I have just bought a rake of 6 West Coast, Acura Scale West Coast Mark 2s, which obviously do not have central door locking. Right, I'm going to treat that as a yellow signal. And I've also ordered the TSO and the BSO Mark 2Cs, so I'll have 8 of those when they turn up. Right, 2.6 kilometres till Murzzuschlag. And we're treating that last signal as one yellow. Yeah, Motta 9784 says vacuum brakes suffer from the same issues from repeated applications. Probably more so on vacuum brakes, to be fair. Connor Eaton, my version of CDL will be sticking little bill lights on the outside of them somewhere. So as we are now coming to the end of the route, marks out of 10 in the chat as to what you think of this DLC. What do you like about it? What would you change? Lawrence Adams, good evening. It's Sam Plays. Hello. Welcome. Okay, that's green and yellow. I think we can take that. Right, 40k, that's going to be about 25 miles an hour, I reckon. 8.5, 8, 9, 8.5. It's getting good marks. Tom, hi, I'm a 15-year-old boy. How would I get an apprenticeship for the railway after secondary school? Best thing to do is to just look on the company's websites and see what they're advertising. Orangutan in bed, that is completely fine. From my 30 minutes, the realism looks great. It just doesn't seem like my cup of tea, as I enjoy most of the UK races. I can understand them. I'd still give it 7 out of 10. Mark Rose says 8. TJ says 10. Fantastic. Yeah, no, Orangutan, you're perfectly entitled to have that opinion. Different strokes for different folks. Actually, it's getting really good remarks. TJ says there, Dovetail's quality has really gone up recently. And there's our station coming up, Murzzuschlag. I am actually going to... Let's worry about stopping at the station first. I'm actually going to screenshot that chat with the scores, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to post it in the ambassadors forum. Okay, we've got 2 white lights. Yeah, GMD, that's like I say, different strokes for different folks on that one. Absolutely not a problem at all. It's alright, I'm just taking screenshots. And then what we can do, guys, is we probably won't do a full run because it is quite late and I've got to go to Peterborough tomorrow. Which should be fun. Oh, that's probably my signal, isn't it? Wait for a moment. That's my son Josh for playing on the Oculus. He's having fun. Right, wait for a moment. It's going to let us down at the last minute and not let us end the journey. Please don't do that. Objective complete. There we go. Didn't lose that many points for speed. Oh well, actually, yeah. That's up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why you need your AFB. Right, okay. What are we going to do? Let's do that. Murzzuschlag is where we're going to start from. We'll do the musical train. To the trains. Choose a route. Semmeringbahn. Timetable. OBB 116. And we want to start from... Oh, we've got a full... Drive this intermodal train from Murzzuschlag to Glognitz. 6:51 in the morning. Let's go with that. Keep dynamic weather turned on. Let's pull it back to 6:51 in the morning in February. That should be kind of dusky, I think. Let's give that a go. Let's give that a go. Connor, what time at Peterborough? 1300, Connor. I've got a meeting. I won't go into details on here, but I'm not in trouble. Not yet. Right, okay, this is looking promising. So this is going to be getting lighter as we go along. That's the plan. So this is Murzzuschlag. This is where we've just come from. Oh, we're double-headed as well. Right, let's get the Tarus set up. I love the way when you put the key on, these screens boot up. I do think that's pretty cool. Okay, now I've got to remember how to work this. So, high beams normal, exterior master switch on, and we've got our headlights. This vehicle only. We'll leave safety systems off so we can get some outside shots without coming up in a heap. And we want to do AFB on. Which is then set our little speed indicator. So the first speed we're going to be allowed is 80, so we can set the AFB up to 80. The little cruise control type thing. Got a lot of functionality on the screen here, but if I start playing with it, I will inevitably break it. There we go. So we can change between the different countries that we're operating in, which is pretty cool. So we'll just keep that on OBB. I think it's pretty cool anyway. Right. Deborah, can we look in the Discord? Whilst we're waiting for departure. We're gonna train boy. We're gonna stop spamming Fireman Sam, or I will revoke your access. Very official. I will revoke your access to the live stream pictures page if you keep spamming Fireman Sam. But we do have a blue HST at the top there as well. Right, we are off to Gloginitz track 210. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Into forward. Close the main circuit breaker. I had a funny feeling it was going to tell me to do that. Let's put some brakes in. Okay, that went clonk. Hopefully that is okay. Right, let's release the straight air brake. Yep, it's showing me that we have got power. They do sound like that in real life as well. They are cool. They are cool. Artie, thank you very much. You are absolutely fantastic. Are you around Peterborough? I'm from Spalding, about 20 minutes train journey from Peterborough. I will be in Peterborough tomorrow, but not for too long. Musical. It is musical. It's brilliant, and they sound like that in real life as well. So when I done the full route review on this, driving the Tarus from end to end, the one thing I said in it is that we now need to get Flixtrain or Railjet, would be the other one in game, because they use Tarus. And I think Flixtrain would be a really good brand to have in game because you can pretty much overlay it onto every German route. We did have Tarus in game before. We had the Dispollock or Dipslok Tarus. So it's not a new train, but it has been upgraded. And to have it in passenger operation now is really good. Obviously we're running freight on it at the moment, but Connor, you can put in a request if you want. I think it's worth doing. The Class 99 should be able to do that. Certainly not much of a challenge for our Tarus. I mean, we've got a... It doesn't tell us what the weight of the train is. Does it tell us in the main menu? Oh yeah, 1,247 tonne. Double-headed on these gradients. It's absolutely eating that. Not an issue at all. The only thing is with this game, when you do start playing with the AFB, which is typically how it would be driven in real life, you've pretty much got nothing to do other than look out the window. Which means we can play a game.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
So let's get those numbers in. Let's have another round of Locomotive Livery Location. Tom, no worries. Thank you very much for joining us. And that'll just hold 80. Likewise, when we come down the other side on the gradients, because it's got dynamic braking on it, the dynamic brake will do its thing. Although it might need a little bit of air brake, depending on what happens. Okie dokie, third one on my screen. Pig and Bob, number 20.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Here we go. Gonna give you box number 20, guys. 10 seconds for that Locomotive Livery Location if you can. Any indicator on the location there? There is absolutely one of these for everybody. So if you don't get it on this one, if you don't get this picture, you'll definitely get one in the future. And don't forget, if you do want to send any pictures to be featured in a future Locomotive Location livery, you can do so via the website www.dadrail.co.uk. So I've got quite a few pictures, but there's some that I can't use. So what I'm looking for is principal stations and locations. So places like, I don't know, Rugby, Birmingham, London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Motherwell, Bournemouth, kind of big stations, not your kind of local, you know, your kind of major interchange stations. Landmarks as well. If there's any kind of railway historic landmarks like the Ouse Valley Viaduct, the Forth Bridge, we can go for those sorts of things. But if it's kind of at stations in the middle of nowhere or yards in the middle of nowhere, I sort of can't use those ones because it's really hard to get the location. So principal stations, principal railway landmarks, that's the sort of thing we are looking for. www.dadrail.co.uk. I might have a few, let's talk. Richard, do you need me to change the wording in the form to make the requirements more specific? That's probably not a bad idea, Artie. We can have a little chat about that. Peter Young, RFG 20, I can see maybe Rugby. Any advances on Rugby? So we've got 96 of you lovely people still here. If you have just turned up expecting to see a 47, you've missed it. We've just done that one. But please do hit that like button and consider subscribing all the same. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to check out the recently released... Wait until the end of the stream. But the recently released Part 1 Brighton Mainline Driver's Eye View cab ride from Hayward Heath up to East Croydon on the Ardingly Freight. We can absolutely check the Discord. There we go. Look at that. That looks like the flying money pit. And we've got a GBRF 92 and a 66. And a 20 on an RHTT at what looks like... I want to say that's Brighton, but the platforms don't look right for Brighton. That can't be Brighton, bottom left. Somebody tell me. The canopy looks Brighton-esque, but the platforms don't. And she's absolutely zooming through here, holding that 80 kilometers an hour. Just no effort at all pulling this up here. I'm hoping the dynamic weather's going to take over pretty soon and make things a little bit more interesting. That's a decent length train. Gareth Kemp, it's Hull. Thank you very much. Peter G, can you hear the loco singing in the cab when setting off? Do you know what? I'm pretty sure you can. Let's slow the train down. Let's do a start from a stand and listen to it in the cab. It's only about 1,200 tonnes, Connor, and it's got 2 locos on it. So, yeah, 1,247 tonnes. It's only light. I have no idea what that means. It sings on the dynamic brake as well, which is pretty cool. Right, okay, I'll be quiet and give it some throttle. There we go. You absolutely can. Cut the rear loco out to make it a bit more of a load. I think we need the dynamic brake force of both locos to slow it down coming down the other side. And I believe when you get this SG up there, that's telling us that we're wheel slipping. But the locomotive will sort of... it'll figure it out for itself as it goes. She's struggling to get it away on this gradient, though. Sounds like someone's going like that on a keyboard. We'll manually take the throttle down a little bit, although I've got the AFB set, so I think it is just going to play its own game, as it were. Hey, Scottish Numpty, no worries, my friend. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you for being a member. Pendolino56, how did you become a train driver? Hello, mate. How you doing? So, my journey started as platform staff back in 2007. Started on the platform dispatching trains. Went from there, became a shunter. Then a shunter driver at the depot. Then I got a job as a mainline passenger driver. Now I work for Freight, which is the superior proper railway. All views and opinions expressed within this video are solely my own. Pendolino 56, is it hard to become a train driver? ZH says very hard. It's... yes and no, Pendolino 56. If you're coming in straight off of the streets, as it were, you know, if you're not already employed by the railway, it can be really difficult. There's lots of competition for the jobs. Your easiest route in is to get a job on the railway. So get a job as platform staff, as a shunter, ticket office, preferably something operational, anything like that. Once you've done that, you'll be able to apply to become a train driver as an internal applicant. So you build up a bit of a rapport with your management, with your colleagues. They kind of get to know what you're like as a person. You prove yourself to be reliable, dependable. And then they're more likely to take you on because you've already got that record. So they do have a habit of recruiting internally. So if you're already employed within the railway, it's easier to get there than what it is if you're coming in off the streets. Orangutan in bed, there is a lot to learn. However, there's nothing that's rocket science. There's nothing massively complicated, but there is a lot of it. Connor, what has been your toughest route for you to learn? Oh, that's a really good question. So one of the routes I've probably struggled with most is the Sutton and Mole Valley line, which is from Horsham round to Dorking. It's not a massively long route, but it's just pretty featureless. There's kind of nothing to get your bearings on where you are. So a route where you've got a lot going on, a lot of junctions, a lot of stations, a lot of signals, it's quite easy to sort of know where you are. When you've got a long route with nothing for miles and miles, it's going to be really difficult to kind of work out where you are. It can be quite challenging. ZH, for me, it's freight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with driving passenger trains. I enjoyed doing that. I just fancied the change, and I'm pleased I did. But I've got, you know, I wouldn't say freight drivers are better than... Of course I would. Freight drivers are better than passenger drivers, you know. No, so on a serious note, I think they're different disciplines. You know, it's although the skill set is similar, it is definitely a different skill set. And I've got a lot of respect for the passenger guys, as I have for my freight colleagues, obviously. Evening Star, what are the medical requirements? I don't know the exact medical requirements. They are published online. I think the RSSB has got them published. If you search RSSB train driver medical, but basically they're going to do hearing, sight. You need normal colour vision. They check your distant. Oh, we should be doing 65. Hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Oh, we should be doing 40. Yeah, they're going to do like an ECG test on you. They'll do a hearing test, drugs and alcohol screening. It's... I've sort of not had medicals for other jobs, so I don't know how it compares, but it's pretty standard, I guess. As ZH says that... I have no idea what they're saying to me. ZH says that the RSSB site has a comprehensive breakdown of all the medical requirements. I don't think those signals are for me. Hey, Tomazio87, welcome to Dad Rail, new subscriber. Yeah, no, because I've not got a signal on the HUD until much further down, so they can't apply. Oh, that'll be my green up ahead there. Right, okay. Let's see if we can get this thing going again. And wait for the back of the train to clear, and we are good for 50. I don't know if these have got a train length counter on them in real life. I don't think there's one in game. That'd be it's quite a useful tool to have. I reckon the back is probably approaching clear there. Okay, guys, while we are in the tunnel...
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Josh, I don't really have a favourite station, if I'm being completely honest with you. Pendolino, favourite EMU. Again, I don't really particularly have one. So the dynamic brake is sort of doing its thing there. You can see it is reducing the speed down. Not as much as I would like it to be. Might have to use a little bit of friction brake just to bring that in. Oh no, it's giving us a bit more dynamic now. It's kind of figuring itself out. Conabula 23.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
If we're playing bingo, we're going to be shouting line in a minute. 23 guys. Locomotive Livery Location. Probably doesn't help that we got the AFB set to 55 and not 50. We should probably do something about that. Tomazio87 having difficulties on the Royal Austrian route with PZB warning not coming up and sudden braking, it appears. Annoying, wish they could fix that since it's not appearing on the HUD. Ah, interesting. I've not played that particular route, so I can't comment. Pendolino 56, what's the fastest you've been whilst driving a train? Fastest train I've driven is the Javelin, which is 140 mile an hour, but I never drove it at 140. So probably 100 on a 375, or 103 according to the customer that was on my train. See my vlog. Train drivers never speed, or trains never speed. Right, we're now 11 kilometres away. We were 9 kilometres away, so it's gone up. See, this is the thing when you're driving like we are now with the AFB on, like I said earlier. It's just, it drives it for you. Which on a route like this with the gradients is really good to hold the speed, because then you maintain time. If we were driving like we were driving the 47, we're accelerating, deaccelerating, up and down, up and down, up and down. With this, like coming down the grade now, the dynamic brake is just holding that speed perfectly. So that's kind of why you use the AFB, because it's a little bit more efficient. Solar panels on the houses. Right, let's let it go a little bit. The AFB is not very intelligent though, because we've told it we can do 60 now. And then rather than just sort of taking the brake off, it's decided it wants to accelerate up to 60. Beautiful. GJ, probably the Javelins again at 140. Oh, no, I've been on an ICE 2 and I've been on an ICE 3 and an ICE 1. I think I've done an ICE 4 as well. I think I've done all the ICEs. It's probably one of those, to be fair. Oh, Tomazio87, what's your favourite German trains or British? I prefer British, but the Germans are cool with their modern style. This is controversial. I absolutely love German railways. I like German railways because there's so many different types of locomotives. There's so many different liveries. There's so much going on. The railways over there are so busy. I don't really go train spotting in the UK and go out. It's maybe because it's the day job and it's a bit of a busman's holiday, but I love going to Germany, going spotting in Germany. It's superb. Russell Merr, go to watch from the start. Hope you and the family are well. Been a decent day today in Scotland. Sun for a change of rain. Yeah, it's been pretty nice down here as well. It's we did have a little bit of rain earlier, but it's not been too bad. ZH Pendolino is saying to Pendolino 56, a lot of TOCs now also recruit external drivers as apprentices. They do indeed. Avanti LNER GWR have recently had recruitment drives, so it's definitely worth registering for a job alerts. Yeah, 100% is. Right, let's have a little look at our map. So we do our wiggle, 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 wiggle. Then it's going to tell us we're only a little way away before we branch off into the distance again. Can we get outside this time? No, the camera doesn't want me doing that. Yeah, dynamic brake's working pretty hard to hold that speed, but with 2 locos on, it's not too bad. They are nice locos, the Tarus as well. So the dynamic brake, they're doing an absolutely fantastic job of holding the speed as we come around the corner, looking at the lighting as the sun's coming up over the hills, looking absolutely beautiful. Connor, is that official advice? Yeah, lovely. If it is, sack me. Spicy pepper sauce. We asked earlier on, and most people were sort of giving it 8.5 out of 10. It's very nice indeed. Graphically, it's beautiful. It drives really nice. I've not noticed any gaping bugs in it yet. Dovetail have done once again, they've done a really good job. Credit to them. Not saying it's your thing. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, this route. But if this is the sort of route you like driving, then it's definitely one worth getting. Opera Powie is sitting on the sofa asking me when the stream's going to end. Stream is going to end when we get to Gloggenitz, track 210, which is in 6.4 kilometres. As a crow flies. A direct crow. Tomazio 87, I prefer locos which are not that sound isolated. Love the sound of the rails in the cab. We can sort that problem out by opening the window. Spicy pepper sauce. So no, these have had some upgrades on them. They're not just a reskin. So the sounds have been updated a bit. There's some more options on the menu and stuff you can go through. So they haven't just taken the Dispolloc one and reskinned it. It has been updated. Yeah, not too far to go. And we are going up to 70 as well in a second, which is fancy. So anyone that is familiar with Austrian railways, one of the questions I asked in my full review video was about a Bühler. So obviously a Bühler is used in Germany. I can't see any screens in this locomotive which would be a Bühler screens, unless you'd have a Bühler on one of these. But this looks like, this clipboard thing looks like it might also be an iPad holder or something. So my question to you guys, if you know, is a Bühler used in Germany, and would it appear on one of these screens, or would it be like on the iPad, or would it be here where it's blanked out? DC87, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Right, let's take it up to 70. And I am really looking forward as well to getting the dynamic suspension in game, because that is going to be a game changer to the way routes feel. Just looking at Blackpool branches, the way it's da-dum, 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 and the cab sway and the way it bounces around. When you put the brakes on, it dips down. And once we get full dynamic suspension across the whole spectrum of trains and routes, that is going to be a game changer to the way this game feels. Artie, Connor's got a really good point. No, Connor, unfortunately they've not sort of said when that's going to be, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Beautiful sunrise coming through the mountains. So we have got 92 of you lovely people still here. If you are still here, I can only assume you must be enjoying it, so please do hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I tell you what, let's put our speed down to 60. I don't know if the dynamic brake's going to be able to do... No, it is coming down. And let's press that button.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
ZH, Richard, what are the rosters like on freight? Is it still earlys, lates and nights? Depends on what companies you work for, ZH. So some companies work on basically white paper rostering, which is where you know when your days off are, but you don't know what shifts you're working. And other companies have similar rostering agreements to train to TOCs, passenger companies, where you'll have a set roster. You'll know exactly what train you're working, exactly what time you're working. It's just down to your individual company and their terms and conditions. Right, okay, third one on my screen. We'll get round the corner here. We'll be Pig and Bob with number 15. Still trying to get that location, guys. Okay, why is it not putting the brakes on? It can see we're... Have I got it set to 65 again? I have. That'll be why. Loving the sun hitting the trees and lighting that up. The lighting on this route, again, it's pretty gorgeous. Okay.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Pig and Bob, number 15. What are you reckoning? Let me know in the chat. Any ideas on that location yet, though? I think you need to look at some of those top ones there for the location. GJ, I still have a Mac upstairs. It's a 2014 Mac. It's an older one, but I bought that when I started doing video editing, and it was very good for it. Unfortunately, liking my games, that's kind of why I come away from the Apple infrastructure, and the fact you can't easily upgrade them and stuff. It's but the great thing about Apple, everything just works. Like, you log into the iPad, the Mac or your iPad or your iPhone, it just works. Everything syncs up, everything works. It's seamless. Yeah. It's idiot proof. If you're not very bright like me, then it's ideal. Trains of Somerset LSL Class 20 in rail freight at Crewe. Ashley Coast Class 20 on a vintage rail tour in Kent. GJ Class 20 double header. Josh Pera BR Blue Class 20s hauling Mark 3 coaches. Connor, I echo your feelings. It's Sam Plays. I'm such a donut. I thought this was German. Austrian, this one. I've not been to Austria. I reckon that might be my trip abroad later on this year. Although the trip abroad fund may have given way to the model railway fund. It's a worthy cause. Tracer from Berkshire, yes. All mainline stock in the UK, as far as I know, is going to be fitted with ETCS equipment. And we are going to be coming up to 70 in a minute. So this does make for a... Although it's a pretty drive, it does make for a boring drive. Just kind of adjusting the AFB every couple of minutes. Josh asks, what is your favourite route in Train Sim World? Good question, Josh. Good question, difficult to answer. I absolutely love Dresden. And UK-wise, probably going to be South Eastern High Speed or Blackpool branches. Very, very good routes. But will the Going Away Fund making way for the Model Railway Fund? Does Dizzy still make guest appearances? I'll have to ask him nicely. Look at those mountains there and the light, the snow on top of that. It's very nice indeed. Be a nice route to drive in real life, this one. I want to go to Austria because I want to do the I want to do this line. I want to do the... Someone's going to tell me it's not in Austria, it's in Switzerland. The Bernina. I think it is Switzerland, actually. Which are both in Train Sim. Obviously, this one's in Train Sim and the Bernina's in Train Sim. Pig and Bob's, yes, it's Switzerland, Italy. I need to go there as well then. Right, we're allowed to go 80. Woohoo, we can get some speed up. Right, okay, we are getting very, very near to the end now, so...
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Great, the train guy, how big at this point is your bucket list? I did jokingly say to my wife the other day that I'm really annoyed because I'm going to die before I get to do everything I want to do. Yeah, my bucket list is pretty large. We're taking the advice. Connor Eaton, congratulations. You are the third one on my screen. Number 2.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Anything on there helping with that location? let me know your thoughts. We'll probably have one more round before we wrap it up. LW Rail. I actually like driving with the window open. We've got the window open at the moment, haven't we? Oh no, we've closed it. Yeah, in real life I normally drive with the window open, depending on what the temperature's like outside. But yeah, window open is my preference, definitely. Connor, it expands beyond the railway. Yes, GJ makes a very good time. Not so much a bucket list, more of a barrel list. Sausage Rally Enthusiast 21180 and 2132. That's crew. Ashley Coles is going Ashford International Class 20. And because we're only 2.9 miles away, let's do another round straight away. Last one.
Post your numbers now for Locomotive Livery Location.
Last one, get those numbers in. And don't forget, if you do want to send me any pictures for Locomotive Location Livery, www.dadrail.co.uk. Website created by Artie, the master. The master of Discord and websites. And all-round nice person. Right, okay, that looks like something yellow. So let's just put the AFB down to 30 and then creep, because I don't understand the signals. Okay, this is your last round. GJ is in there with number 7.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
Giving you number 7. 10 seconds. Locomotive Livery Location. This is your last chance to get it. Oh, good shout, GJ. Well done. What is it? Where is it? All will be revealed in just a few moments' time. Artie is actually the self-proclaimed CEO of the Dad Rail Corporation. I think the CEO, CTO, everything else in between. Laserjet, it's a class 20. Hello, Laserjet. How are you doing? And we're just keeping that speed right down because like I said, I've got absolutely no idea what the signals mean. And my signals in the HUD are just showing blank because that's the way I like them. Which works for UK routes, but when you, quite frankly, don't have a clue what the Austrian signals mean, it's probably a good idea to have them turned on. Right, okay, so throttle off. And we'll leave the AFB where it is, and then we'll actually do some manual driving. Oh, I'm good, thank you, my friend, Laserjet. How are you finding the route? Have you had a chance to have a go on it yet? And we are coming into Glognitz track 210. Let's see if we can get a half decent stop. Not that it matters too much with freight, but as long as it's in clear and it's not foul of anything, and we don't pass that pretty red light at the end of the road, we should be absolutely fine. give it a little bit of brake. Maybe a little bit more brake. Maybe a little bit more brake. We're not going to spad at the last minute. Come on. The concentration level. Yeah, we've the stream today, LaserJet. It's been nothing but positive feedback. So we want to see this standard in the next few UK routes that are released. Oh, that's close enough. Are we in at the back? Yeah, that's clear of the signal. As long as we're not running the loco around it, it'll be fine. Oh, stop, oh, stop, oh, stop. Objective complete. Well, hey. Gold medal, fantastic. I'll have to play that with the safety systems turned on once I've done some reading up on the signals. Okie dokie. Let's press that button there.
Let's play Locomotive Livery Location.
I have seen 1, 2, maybe 3 people that have got this right so far. So well done to absolutely everybody who's had a good guess tonight. I think the locomotives everyone was pretty much unanimous on. But what was that location?
It's time to reveal today's Locomotive Livery Location.
Any ideas? Rian Davies, thank you very much for sending this one in. That is British Rail Livery Class 20s, and that is at Crewe. The coaching stock you were saying about, you got a Mark III there, and I believe that's a Mark II or a Mark I behind it. So yeah, Rian Davies, thank you very, very much for sending that in. Very much appreciated. There we go, guys. That is it for today's stream. My son behind me has stopped playing VR. I think he's waiting to come on the computer. Although it's a school day, so he should be going to bed. Oh, he just looks at me. Doesn't like that idea. There we go. Yeah, no, I am very impressed with the route in general. The Class 47 scenario on there was really nice to drive. Yeah, Dovetail, you've done a really good job on this one. Well done. Congratulations. So there we go, guys. There we have it. There will be tomorrow night a members only live stream. We're back in Transport Fever 2 in our nice little creative world over there. If you want to join in with that stream and join the channel, membership starts from 99p for a level 1 membership, which will get you access to that. Thank you very much to Artie for moderating, and I was going to say to Nightbot as well then, but well, you can say thank you to Nightbot, I guess. Connor Eaton, Pig and Bob, Transport from Berkshire, Scottish Numpty, everyone who's on the membership, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for coming in tonight and watching. LaserJet, thanks for coming in and joining us. The legend that is. It's great to have you here. That is it. If you want to join our Discord server, you can do. You'll find an invitation link down in the description below. You're also more than welcome to follow me on my social media channels, which are on the screen for you right now. And I hope to see you again very soon in another stream or video. I should have pressed the button before I said that bit. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Hope to see you again very soon in another stream or video. See you next time. Quick shout out to GJ. Computer does seem to be fixed. Thank you very, very much.